Today, we're going to talk about paper storage. It's such an important topic. If you are not storing your paper properly, it can be a big headache in the collage making process. Do you know where your paper is? I have hundreds of different papers. I am not exaggerating. I have so much paper. Do I have a paper addiction? Maybe, but I don't think it's a problem, and I can stop anytime, honestly. I'm trying to use what I have. I didn't have a good organizational system for my collage paper for the longest time. Then I had an idea that changed everything. Organizing papers by color. I know before I start collaging what colors I'm going to use. So it's so much easier having every color sorted separately and going to just one place to grab all of that color that I need and then choosing within that color rather than going through just piles and piles of all the colors. It's just so tiring. It's so tiring. I did it for years. I had a place for my sparkly, shiny papers. They would all go together in a pile in a drawer. Then all my handmade papers would go in a pile in the drawer. And then in another cabinet, I would have all of my scrapbook pads or individual 12 by 12 inch scrapbook papers in a container in a cabinet. And when I would start working on a piece, I would have to get up and go to all these different places with all these different papers, go through everything and find what I liked or find something I had in mind and have to look for it. It occurred to me one day, why not take all the blues from all these different places and put them together in one envelope, and all the greens and all the reds. And here are a few of the benefits that I've found since beginning to organize my collage papers by color. If you do not have your papers organized, if they are all stacked up together, or they are just randomly put in different places, it's gonna slow you down. It's gonna slow you down. Every time you need a new piece of paper, you're going to have to search through all these different places, and it's tiring. I try to keep my energy for the collage session, for the art making, and the more time I spend not doing the art and doing the stuff that is leading up to the art making, the less energy I have to devote to making art. This really improves my workflow, and it saves time for the creative process. It saves energy for the making of the collage rather than using all that energy and my memory looking for papers that I think I might have and locating them somewhere in my studio. As an artist, you understand that the color blue is a word for an endless variation of blues. If I'm looking for a blue piece of paper, I have so many choices for which blue I want. When I have all of my blues laid out in front of me, it encourages me to really explore the different values of blue, the different shades, a little deeper than just picking the first one I come across in a random pile of paper. And then I'm also able to explore the paper's texture within each color. So if I know I have a few smooth or matte papers, I know, okay, for the next one, let's choose something sparkly. Let's choose something rough to make the finished work more interesting. And I can compare the papers side by side within a color before choosing the ones that I want. As a paper lover, have you fallen into the trap of not wanting to cut into a perfect piece of paper? I know I have, and I tend to turn to my scrap papers in my accordion folder, using the tiniest piece of a color I need rather than cutting into a fresh, perfect piece of paper. But now that my papers are grouped by color, I can see that I have lots of each color, maybe even too many of some colors. So rather than wanting to preserve them all, it encourages me to get in there and start using them. Having all of my papers grouped into envelopes by color also easily lets me see which colors I'm running low on. For instance, I can see that I need more black and white papers, or I have a lot fewer black and white papers compared to many of the other colors. So if I am going to choose a paper in the store, I should probably pick a black or a white rather than more green, which I have tons. I have tons and tons of green and blue. I think they're my favorite colors. I am a big believer in a clean environment. I count organizing and cleaning my studio as part of my artistic process. Some people really like the creativity that chaos brings, but not me. That's not my personality. I'll be honest, keeping the rest of my house clean and organized is a constant struggle. There are 5 of us here and 2 dogs, and it's never ending. But in my little studio, I'm the only person that I need to clean up after. Engaging in mess, for me, causes a certain level of discomfort. So now when it comes to picking my paper, I'm able to stay away from that feeling, and I find that really helpful. And paper organized by color is also very visually satisfying, which gives a good feeling when you're looking at it. No more searching through piles of messy random papers in different locations. Now I open a cabinet and I see a neat stack of paper organized by color, arranged in envelopes, and I'm able to pull out the exact ones that I need and leave the rest beautifully out of sight. If you love art supplies as much as I do, you are probably in the place where space is at a premium. By organizing all my papers into envelopes by color, I was able to free up a whole entire drawer. Now I just need to decide what I'm going to put in it.